Welcome to Just Minding My Business Radio, where we are moving at the speed of God, learning what we didn't know we didn't know. I'm your host, Ida Crawford.
And I'm your co-host, Ruth Haskins.
So grab a pen and paper and get ready for information that you can use.
Welcome to Just Minding My Business Media. We are so happy to see you. And Ruth and I is just chilling tonight. We don't have a guest. We're it. And we just wanted to take some time to just reflect on where we've come from.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with Just Minding My Business Media, it's been a blessing. And of course, it's been a busy endeavor, but we are grateful that the opportunity has rested in our laps. So, just to get started, how you doing, Ruth?
I'm doing very well, Ida. How are you?
I can't complain.
Good.
God is good.
Yes, all the time.
Yes, indeed. And just to kick things off, I'm the founder of a Sister Circle Empowerment Network, Ascend LLC, which is a group of women, and Ruth is one of our women, who are pursuing businesses. Everybody is doing something different. And all of this with the Just Minding My Business Media launched from having a platform to be able to showcase each and every woman's gift. So that's where all of this started. It started as a podcast, and back in, Blog Talk Radio. That was the first beginnings. And you probably heard us talk about this before, but we thought we just want to sit down and reflect, because a lot of times when you're moving and you're not really sitting back looking sometimes, because you're so busy moving towards your goal, and everything is always sort of rushy. So we just wanted to take this time to just reflect and thank God for where He has brought us.
Indeed. You know, I came to Ida through a sister circle, and that was quite some time ago. And the first time I met Ida, it was for an event with a sister circle. It was a lot of young women. Everybody had their own business, and or they were endeavoring to do something. Some of them had something really solid, some of them didn't. But I remember the presentation that Ida made, and it was a nice PowerPoint presentation. And I just sat back and observed, and I said, you know what? This has the makings of a really good, solid organization. And I know a sister circle has gone through some changes. And that's the reality of any organization. No organization stays the way it starts off. And I must say that as it is now, a sister circle really is that platform. And from that sprang the podcast. And from the podcast came Just Minding My Business Radio. And that's where I jumped into Just Minding My Business. It was with the podcast about almost 2 years ago now. So it's been an interesting journey, full of interesting people, interesting moments.
Yes, to say the least.
We've had our technical difficulties, and just sometimes just going, oh my goodness, what are we going to do? But it's always worked out because it's been a good collaboration. And I like that about a sister circle. And Just Minding My Business is on the same principle. We're always in collaboration, never in competition. And that works so powerfully. It has worked powerfully well for this endeavor.
Yes, and it's all about the energy from the women, because nobody can do anything alone. It's just totally impossible. You can come up with the ideas, but you're going to need the people with the expertise to make it happen. So I am, grateful that God brought people into this organization that can make a difference in what we do. And just minding my business, Ruth and I sat down and kind of planned this out back in October of 2018, the media piece of this, because we felt like not only could the Sister Circle women benefit from the exposure through the radio show and being on a video type platform, which at that time we didn't know what that was going to be. We thought YouTube was going to be it, but God said, I'm going to give you something else.
Indeed, he did.
Yes, and then he brought Raven International TV into the mix, which brought a whole new twist to the plan. So, of course, there's been a lot of learning because filming wasn't on my to-do list at all. So I've had to learn and grow and, and just move with the process.
It was interesting because I know I never thought that it would go from the podcast, which was very, we did the podcast, we're moving along smoothly and getting better with it every time we did it. And like I said, lots of interesting people. And then you had mentioned YouTube, and I said, okay. And then Ida said, Ravens International TV, and I was like, what?
I know, I see that one coming.
I said, okay, let's take a deep breath and see what this is all about. And, I think what's interesting is that those people who have journeyed with us this far, in our listenership, or those who have actually been interviewees, are probably just about as amazed as we are. And I think about the tremendous benefit that that's going to bring to so many people. Because sometimes, you say a picture is better than 1,000 words. Well, certainly TV, any kind of film, brings so much more to the message. And people have some tremendous gifts, and their message deserves not only to be heard, but to be seen. And it's interesting the energy that comes when people know that they're going to be on television, quote unquote, on television. Their eyes get bright, they get really nervous, and and then they just shine. They bring it. And part of that is because they know they're being seen. And there's that excitement of being seen. It's like being on stage. There's that excitement of being seen. And so you bring your product and your gift with a different energy and some tremendous outcomes. It's always unexpected. I think we've always talked about the fact that our interviews, I don't care if we were sitting on a mud pile, would still be amazing. Because people bring themselves, and it's just awesome, the energy that people have, the passion that they have. And we're looking so much to getting more people who have tremendous messages to get out to the people. People need to hear it.
Absolutely. And all of this is about providing exposure for small business, connecting you with an audience that you may not necessarily touch. And, Ruth and I work tirelessly, bringing together, coming up with different ideas and things that we can do to provide you with that additional exposure, because, we've got social media, we've got a lot of different places to show our gifts. And sometimes it just becomes overwhelming for many people, having to keep up with all of these different platforms and things like that. So as a result, we launched Just Minding My Business Media, where we support you with those things. We support you with the social media marketing. We also have the podcast so that your voice can be heard. And I'm happy to say we now, since last month, we went from 10 countries to 15 countries.
Awesome.
In 1 month. So that means that our guests are really bringing it, and we are just happy to be able to share other people's gifts. That's what we do. We share other people's gifts. You know, we've launched some really exciting new headliner packages that will definitely blow your mind in terms of what we're going to provide for you in these packages. We also have commercial creation so that we can create commercials for you that you can post anywhere you want to post. And of course, we're going to market them as well for you. So we also have magazine contacts that we can get your advertising into magazines, such as, you know, Entrepreneur and all of these other different magazines. And we're just so excited to be able to have these platforms at our fingertip to share with you, to support you in sharing what you do.
You know, and Ida, as people are listening, I know many are thinking, oh my goodness, I thought that those were things that only the big players do. And indeed, there are platforms out there, you know, that's where the big boys play. We have platforms that are affordable for those people who are willing to take their business to the next level. Mm-hmm. And that has to be part of it. One of the things that we bring in our interviews and even in this conversation is the issue of mindset. Where do you want your business to go? What sacrifices are you willing to make to help your business grow? And it does take time and money. Let's face it, it takes time and money. Mm-hmm. But when you have someone who's willing to work with you within your parameters and to make sure that you get this tremendous exposure, we're talking television, we're talking social media, we're talking YouTube, we're talking a commercial that you can take, like you said, any place that you want to. Once we make it, it's yours to disseminate however you'd like to. And you're talking about, like you said, a magazine, that's photo advertising in some of the most major magazines in the United States, and many of them have publication around the world. Now, you never know when your particular gift is going to appeal to a particular audience for a magazine. It can be that fast. It can be maybe your jewelry, maybe the fact that you put your ad into because you're a chef or you're a foodie, you know, and you put your ad into some food magazine. You never know when someone's going to either see your photo outlay, your little advertisement. They might say, you know, well, call you up and say, well, would you like to do an article? That's an entree. It's not about just looking at things, what's in front of your face. It's about what you do and where it can lead you, where somebody else may be able to see you and say, oh, I'd like to know more about that. Because we do it all the time, Ida. We pick up a magazine or we're watching television, we're on the internet, you know, you're famous. We're all famous for that. We see an advertisement, even on YouTube. Those advertisements that can sometimes be annoying, but they're there nonetheless.
Right.
And we end up clicking on it and going to see what that person is all about. What is this advertisement all about? Mm-hmm. That person didn't know that you were going to click over. They hoped you would. And they hope that you buy. But if nothing else, it stays in the back of your mind, that particular advertisement. Some of us even bookmark them, you know, with the possibility of returning. So that's something I really want people to hear. It's not just about what you do and it's there. We do a commercial and it's there, or we do an interview and it's there. You never know who's going to hear about it or see about it, or as Ida puts it out on social media, who's going to see it and really be interested and say, oh, I want to know more. Mm-hmm. And it can start a whole chain of events. And that's what you're looking for. That's what we're all looking for. So I just wanted to emphasize that.
Yes, and that is so powerful, Ruth, because you just never know where you plant the seeds, what's going to happen. And it's all about planting seeds. You know, the more people that see you, hear you, the more possibilities.
Exactly.
You. Mm-hmm. And that's pretty much it in a nutshell. You know, we are growing. We are learning, and we just want to grow and learn with you. I mean, we're all in this learning mode, and we'll be in that mode until the day we leave this earth.
There you go.
So it's all about that growth that happens every day if you embrace it. It's all about embracing.
And I want to just add one little thing to that, because that's so important. It's a seed. We're growing. Being willing to grow. One of the hardest things for most of us to do is to step out of our comfort zone and to become willing to grow. And there is such a thing as growing pains. But aside from all of that is the humility. In order to grow, you need to be humble. Yes. You can't think or want to be where you haven't grown through. It's wonderful to have goals, but there's work to do before you get to that goal. And sometimes it takes humility of saying, I don't know how to. Help me. Yep, I'm clueless.
Yes.
That takes humility, and that's where the growth comes from. And we have seen many people who have been with us grow. We had one artist, who was growing before they met us and will continue to grow. But Haskins and his lovely wife, Gina, and watching that whole scenario continue to blossom.
Yes.
We have others that are continuing to grow and blossom. And we'd like to think that we had a little bit of piece of that because more people heard about them. More people got to know about their gifts.
Yes.
Just so many people. We could go down a whole list of people. But you'll get to see more of them. You'll get to hear more of them. We're not a one-time, passing you by, never come back. Many of our guests we will go back to and do more podcasts with them, follow up with their progress and success, and let you know where they are today as they move forward in their continued success.
Yes, absolutely. And our latest accomplishment, I sat down, and once we started working on this thing and we started looking at cameras, and the price tags on the cameras, as you well know, can be $5,000 to $10,000. And I'm like, Lord, where am I going to get that kind of money for cameras? And of course, the Lord provided. And so Ruth and I are now a part of a community media center where we're able to get professional filming equipment at no cost, very little cost, in order to be able to bring good filming. We want everything to be professional for you as well as for us.
Yes.
So God just kind of took care of that. And I'm like,
and we're getting training as well.
Yes, we are. And we've produced live television shows for the community stations, and which was an exciting event because we're able to see all of the moving pieces that's involved in producing a television show. And it's quite a bit. So I am just so blessed and highly favored to be on this journey of growth and learning. That's exciting to me to be able to learn something that I didn't know and that I didn't even expect. I didn't even expect this. I didn't see any of this coming. None of it. And it's so funny how we have one plan and God has another one.
Yeah, there's never in my life did I expect, the podcast to go from podcast to here to where we are. Yes. Even with the community media group, it's been an amazing journey, and looking where are we going to go from here, the people that we will associate with, who will associate with us, because as we grow, we're going to need more people. Because there are going to be more places to go and things to do and people to meet. And we totally recognize that.
Yes.
But again, Ida, the truth of the matter is that we have had to grow. I have had to grow.
Yes.
In the last year and a half. I have had to push myself beyond my limits, and you've had to push me along my limits. I admit to that. But that's such the exciting part about life. I was not born yesterday. I will fully and willingly admit that. But to still be moving and growing, and know that I have even greater potential for growth, and that all of it is really about spiritual growth. It's all about our spiritual growth. The money will come, the people and events will come, but the more you're willing to grow, the more you get to know who you are. You get in touch with yourself. And my favorite thing is about play. I love to talk about play. And a lot of times this is play. That's what we're doing. It feels like work because it is, but it's also play because we're constantly running into things that we don't know anything about, and we have to figure it out. And the only way that you can do that is by having almost a playful imagination, a playful attitude. Okay, how do I do this? Who do I call? And I love Einstein saying that play is the highest form of research. And it is, because that's what we've been doing. Every little step of the way, we're researching and discovering new avenues, and then jumping into it.
Yeah.
And I don't know who's listening. I hope there are people of all ages listening. But one thing I will say to anyone who's a senior, who's listening to this, or if you have a family member who is a senior, never discourage them from growing.
Yes.
If they come up and say that, I want to learn how to horseback ride, let them do that. If they want to learn how to parasail, it may sound crazy to you, but let them do it. Stand by, but let them do it. Don't tell older ones, stop growing. It's what keeps us alive as human beings.
Oh, yeah.
I really do believe that. And I know this has added measures to my life, doing this with you, Ida. So I really appreciate you taking me under your wing and allowing me into your circle, and really helping me in so many ways to grow past myself.
I think it's been a reciprocation, because I could have never done this without you, Ruth. Never. Having that, we bounce off of each other, Yes. You can't, if I'm thinking something and I bring it to you, you keep me level, because I'll be way up in space sometimes. We're going to go to the moon now. Let's go see how we can get there.
That is definitely Ida. And I'm like, we need to get some landing gear first. Gotta have a way back.
Yeah, so she's got to pull me back, because my mind just get to rolling right along. We can do this, and of course I got some other stuff coming up that I haven't told you yet.
Oh. Okay.
Some more ideas.
Stand by for blast off.
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly. But it has been a really wonderful journey, and we look out for each other. If Ruth says I'm sick, I'm like, oh Lord, get some rest. You can't be sick.
That's right.
We can't be sick, and it's just been fun. I've just been having a good time, even through the growing pains and some of the frustrations that happen, or when something doesn't come out exactly right. Then we've got to redo it, and make it right. But then when it comes out right, oh my God, the happy dance.
Yes, exactly. Doing the happy dance.
Oh my goodness. It's like, I got it. I finally got it.
Uh-huh.
So I'm just, in this walk, one of the things that I've learned is be patient with myself. Because, I'm not going to get it right the first time. We evolved from, we had to update equipment. I did a video and my mouth moving one way, and the video is like, oh Lord, I can't have that. So we had to update equipment. I had to research the most important things when you're doing filming, especially on a computer. And by my background being in IT, those interworking things matter to me. So we had to do all of that first. I remember when you were swaying, and
I remember,
it was like a big lag. Remember that?
Mm-hmm. And it's funny. I hope I'm better now, even though we don't have that problem. I hope I'm not all over the place this time.
Oh no! You can sway all you want now.
Because I do tend to talk with my hands and and move. But that was funny. The first time we did it, oh my goodness, it was wild. It was like, whoo, okay, we got to do something about it. Okay.
So we had to upgrade equipment. So that happened. So now we're at a place that we are comfortable right now with what we have.
Yes.
And we know we're going to have to upgrade again. So, it's all about keep doing it and getting better.
Yes. And the better we are, the better it's going to be for all of those who work with us, who come to us and look for the media input that they need to grow.
Yes, and that's what we're about, providing exposure for your gift.
Yeah.
For your gift. I mean, I am, I believe if you help enough people get what they want, you'll get what you want. And I live by that. It's all about helping people. To me, that's what you're born to do. That's why God gave you certain things.
Exactly. You have mentioned that to me many times. And I just want to encourage our listening audience. Just what you said, God gave each one of us a gift. Each one of us, we were born with that gift. And if you have not taken that gift, the gift is there, but have you ever bothered to open it? Look inside that box and find out what your gift is, take it out and use it. Because it was given to you to use so that you can help other people. It's not about, our gifts aren't for us. They're for what they can do and manifest in the world and help other people. So that's a really important part that Ida always brings up. She always thanks our interviewees for the gifts that they bring. And the ones who are bringing their gifts are the ones who have opened up the box, looked in, taken it out, and decided to share it.
And rolled with it. And I mean, and so much I've learned through the voices of the different people that we've interviewed. Oh my goodness, I've got notebooks here. I've actually, doing an interview, I'm taking notes. Right. Because I'm learning some things that I didn't know.
And we cover the gamut. We cover mental health. We cover social well-being. We should cover health and wellness. We've talked about cancer. We talked about parenting. We've talked about just the nuts and bolts of businesses. People who have different types of talents, like sculpting, or they're dressmakers, or someone else who their thing is organizing homes, helping people to organize their homes. Do you know how many of us, we won't all raise our hands once, who need help organizing our homes?
Yes.
Because especially if you're busy, you don't always think about it until it comes time to move. And then you go, oh my goodness, where did all this stuff come from?
Or to look for something.
Oh, try to look for something. It's really like looking for a needle in a haystack.
Oh, I know.
You're just like, where did all this other stuff come from? I'm just looking for one thing. So these are all the different types of people that we've interviewed. We've interviewed people who have a unique form of yoga. Just so many different interesting people talking about things like Ida, that I've never heard of before. I've never heard of them before. And it's like, ooh, okay. There's a whole world out here of information and useful information.
Yes.
We've had two people who have talked about the importance of men, of fathers, in their daughters' lives.
Oh, yes.
And they're powerful. There's more coming up on that one. Powerful, and it was interesting because one was from a male point of view and one was from a female point of view. And I thought that was, look at that. We've had them both, and they were both powerful.
Yes, Exactly. And I'm looking forward to what's coming next. Because
Yeah.
we believe that we're doing God's will.
Mm-hmm.
We believe that He is smiling down on this and what we do. We hear it from our people that we interview all the time, that, this platform that we've created is a blessing to them.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, we know that it is benefiting not only the people that we interview, but also the listeners that follow us. And we will definitely continue to bring information, news, and that you can use. It's all about educating, inspiring people to be their best self. That's what it's all about. So if anytime you want to get in touch with any of us, with Ruth or myself, you can always email us at jmmb.assistercircle.org. And we can talk about what your needs are. No pressure. We're just here to help.
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
Word on the street says there's something new at Just Minding My Business Media. You've heard our podcast, Just Minding My Business Radio, that brings news and views you can use. That airs every Thursday at 6 p.m. on iHeartRadio, iTunes, YouTube, Spotify, and Spreaker. Well, now you can watch Just Minding My Business. That's right, Just Minding My Business Media now has a TV presence on Raven International TV Network, broadcast on Roku, Fire, and Apple TV. Your business, through Just Minding My Business Media, has exposure on internet radio, major social media platforms, and now TV, through Just Minding My Business dynamic digital marketing platform. Don't listen to the word on the street. Hear it for yourself. Visit jmmb.assistercircle.org to learn how you can take your business, your vision, to the next level.
Thank you to the amazing women of A Sister Circle Empowerment Network, ASCEN LLC, and our media partners. Let Just Minding My Business Media promote your business. For information, visit us at jmmb.assistercircle.org. That's jmmb.assistercircle.org. Voiceovers by RCH VoiceWorks. For when you want to be heard. Call 443-620-4115.
Thank you for tuning in to Just Minding My Business Radio. I'm your host, Ida Crawford.
And I'm your co-host, Ruth Haskins.
We hope you enjoyed the show and appreciate you stopping by. Many blessings to you and yours.